Okay, episode 4. Let's have a chat about it. Okay, I'm Rigger, this is Your Right, and today we're going to talk about episode 4 because I had just watched it, now I'm going to watch it again. So for anyone who isn't familiar, this is not a reaction. This is me going through the show a second time and talking about this and that, and putting up keyframes along the way. Before I get started, I want to say a couple of things, real quickly. First off, thank you so much, because this subscriber count is crazy with the growth lately. I really don't know what to say. Second of all, I woke up later than normal to watch this. I'm sorry that this will be out later than usual. I was actually going to wait till tomorrow to do this, because today is going to be very busy for me in real life, and usually I get up at 3 a.m. to watch this as it comes out, and it's currently nearly 5:30 a.m. and I'm gonna have to try and pump this out before I get things done today, so sorry if I sound tired or if this is not up to the other ones, but I really enjoyed this episode, so at least there's that. And also, the YouTube things real quick because I'll forget them. Like if you like it, share it if you could, subscribe if you want to see more, and let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, let's get going on this episode. Okay, let's start off with something I immediately like, Robin. So, Robin didn't have the strongest character through 7. A lot of people didn't like her and didn't like her storyline. Be that as it may, I am open to the idea of sort of, not recasting, but reapplying her in a new light, learning who she is on a personal level, learning who she is as a friend sort of thing. Her trying to crack jokes, her telling stories, her being excited at the prospect of getting Crow to crack a smile. These are all great. I'm not forgetting who she was last season, and who she was last season was pretty bland and boring, so it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But if we're going to continue to learn who she is as a character, or maybe who she is in relation to the other characters, get her to grow close to someone as a friend or more, or whatever else, I am happy to see her in this sort of light. So starting off like this is strong. I'm open to it. I'm not just using my opinions of whatever I thought of her last season to completely lampshade her. They're giving us a new angle on her character, and I'm open to hear about it, so that's good. Alright, so 2 things. 1, I like what Crow is saying. 2, I hate the words coming out of his mouth. They sound very much like a speech, I made a deal with the darkness. Bad line. He doesn't have to talk like that. I like what he's saying. I like that he's expressing his ideas. I like that... Alright, I don't like that, but I am on board with the fact that he's saying things that might try and explain to some people who had a real problem with how Crow acted, at least giving his side of it. But and yes, he is very much spelling it out to the audience. I'm not against Crow spelling things out to the audience, or if he feels he needs to. But I don't like the way he's putting it. I don't like the way he's expressing himself. I don't like the choices he used. Again, it sounds very much like a stage play, it sounds very Shakespeare and Macbeth. Some rehearsed lines that sound, too good to be true, sound super rehearsed, sound super fake, not like a real person. But I do like the idea that we're delving into finally that expression of how hard his semblance has made his life, or how hard he believes his semblance has made his life, and how the opening that Clover presented could have changed things. And interestingly, it's not something I'd considered before, but the relationship between him and Robin, the way she was talking about how her semblance makes her life hard. Obviously not comparable, but the idea that you can figure out anyone's secrets or figure out if anyone's hiding anything by putting them to the test if you choose is a good note to relate them on. Again, I said this in my opening breakdown, but I can really see if they're going to try and perhaps put these two in some kind of relationship. Since they're adults especially, they might actually move forward on it for one. I'm not against it, and if they're gonna build it off some sort of parallel like that, or find some more things that they can relate on in some way, then they can get some real mileage out of having them locked up together and talking, where they can't get to each other. And the way she put her hand on the screen, almost like a longing thing, I don't know. I'm more open to this than perhaps a lot of people are, and I'm willing to see where it goes, so we'll continue with it. Except continuity error, you can see it on this frame. Why is his badge no longer covered in blood? Has Crow just rubbed his hands over it enough that he's peeled all the dried blood off? Because that's just weird. they just forgot that detail for this entire episode. I don't know, but we'll keep going. Alright, so I am, again, encouraged that I like Hare's becoming a villain sort of thing. I don't know, again, I'm open to this idea. I do like Robin here. Good job on her dialogue. I do like that they're somewhat ignoring something right in front of them, her ability. If they want to suspect, she can manipulate it somehow and make it appear like she's lying, maybe. But again, it does feel like, no, it's not, they can lie to themselves and say stuff like that, but really they're just ignoring that they don't want to know the truth. They want to pin the blame on who they want to pin the blame on. They want someone to be mad at for their losses. And again, I know it's Tyrion's setup to have Crow's weapon covered in blood, and that seems like it. But again, if you're a huntsman, if you're out in the field, it's like, yeah, being stripped of a weapon can happen, and it's actually not that hard to believe. But you can paint it more believably that, no, these people just want someone to be mad at. They want someone to pin the blame on more than listen to anything, and that really, and you know, the fact they have the evidence, quote unquote, helps. So, yeah, I'm believing this, I'm liking this, and I like the challenge, and I like, you know, obviously we have the constantly, are you gonna turn or not Marrow in the background, disapproving, so all good. In fact, if the thing they want to get to have them turn or whatever is that someone with clearance will turn off the barrier and ask Robin, like Marrow comes in, opens the barrier on his own and does the interrogation with her semblance. I can see that. That would be a good place to turn him. I'm not going to take another screenshot of it, but the focus on her terminal to go into her cell could be a good foreshadowing. That's what's going to happen. Someone's going to come in and actually take her up on it, and Marrow would be the obvious choice. So yeah, moving on. So initially I was obviously applauding the scene. The music sounds good. We're getting into it straight away, but two things that spring to mind. If you're going to happily fire grappling hooks at the hound and hang on to it, that means you're not afraid it's going to crush Oscar in its jaws. Why didn't you do something last time? Again, it's just going back to a scene that I didn't like, but I'll move past it. This is also really silly. Why are they taking time to congratulate themselves while their friend is hanging from a beast like that, and they're unsteady, and they need to keep up, and the ground's all crazy, and yeah, this was a weird detail to put in here. I like this chase in general, but they didn't need to put this in. Just, I don't know. It's one of those things that's like an unnecessary detail that you might put in the script because you kind of like it on the page, but by the time you got through all the scene laying out and the storyboards and you got the animation team to do it, like, this is something you could cut. It just doesn't need to be here. In general, I don't mind the scene, so we'll move on. And he's being pushed onto the outside ramp. Great move by Skywalker. Yeah, this is, again, something about this whole volume feels like they are cherry-picking Star Wars and Yang going off this side ramp up onto the higher part through the valley. Feels so pod race. Why is this whole volume just taking cues from Star Wars? I know I'm not the only one noticing it. I've seen people in the comments noticing it. It's just weird. I don't not enjoy the scene or anything because of that, but you can't deny it. It's just through this whole scene. Like, there are set pieces all over the place. For, like, you know, like the floating city feels like a leader, but when you look at it, it looks like the city in the clouds. Like, it's just, there's so much Star Wars. Won't keep hanging on it, but yeah, I'm not the only one noticing this, I know it. So this is pod racing, apparently. Alright, so again with the weirdness, I like that it calls for help. This makes sense. This is a cool thing it can do that we haven't seen before. But it is weird that all these sentinels that apparently are Grimm and want to kill people all the time were laying dormant here doing nothing instead. I don't know how you change this up. I would at least have it call ahead and have things pop out in front of them, then have them pass through an area, and as it calls out, they pop out behind. At least have them come out of an area upcoming that they haven't passed through yet, rather than have it feel like they're ignoring people that were already passed through. Just a personal opinion. You could have done the same scene with a different camera angle and have them racing through the gap and see them upcoming in front of them, rather than this way around. It would have just been cleaner, in my opinion. Hey, more flashes of Jean being competent. You'll always win points with me doing that. this feels like back on form. Good job. It doesn't make his other points feel less weird, including in this episode, but, you know, I like seeing that at least when we're getting down to business, when we go to kill stuff, he's at least, you know, keeping up. So, yeah, we'll call it a positive. At least you're doing this. He should be doing this more, but at least you're doing this. So that's good. So this is going to sound super weird to everyone who doesn't live in my head, which is all of you. The other day, I came up with a shot that I really wanted to see in RWBY. It was a shot I've never seen before. And I was even considering one day, maybe soon I'll make a video on it talking about why I want to see it and what it would be. But without going into it, this is a good start. Look at this POV shot. This is pretty good. The animation's pretty good here. It's relatively brief, so we don't notice any of the holes. I really like it. Kudos on the storyboards for laying this out and putting a proper POV shot here. Nice work. I will compliment the filmmaking. We get very few POV shots. The last one I can remember is looking through Maria's eyes to see what she sees. So the fact we're in a crazy situation like this, nice. Weird detail I missed the first time watching this, the spat gunk in his engine. I always thought it was weird that they could bleed, but apparently they spit gunk. I don't know if it's revisionist and they decided to explain what the green stuff coming out was, or they could always do this and it was just poorly shown before. Either way, I'm not mad about it. I'm always up for Grimm having interesting things they can do, and this is kind of that. I guess it explains why they were quote-unquote bleeding, so I guess in the end I'm all for this. It just seems out of nowhere that they never showed any of this before. They just seem to bleed green for no reason. Although this does make more sense, so either someone picked up the ball now or someone dropped the ball before. I will never figure out how this attack is supposed to work and how it works with physics. At least it's the second time we've seen him do it. At least it's consistent. I don't have a problem with it happening here, but this will always feel weird. I don't know how they managed to pull this off or what it's supposed to achieve, and we may perhaps never have that answered, but just something I wanted to point out. Alright, I got 3 thoughts about this. Number 1, so we're never getting this back. This is just what it was for. Odd choice. Number 2, feels weird that the shield projected by this grenade, if hit with enough force, can bend. Just feels like an odd choice technologically. Doesn't feel like how you would make this thing. Especially with it laying flat and the shield leaning. At least you would have the device tip up with everything, right? So it's projected straight still. But 3, I'm also in support of them using it like this. It's innovative, it's different, but it feels so weird that we gave it to him in one episode, just to lose it in this episode for this one jump that doesn't really achieve them much. Like, I mean, it kind of does, but, you know, it's an odd... It's like the 007 thing, right? If you give out gadgets and then you use them along the trip. It feels weird that's what this gadget was for, and now we're discarding it. And if we're not discarding it, it makes no sense how he has it, so we should be discarding it logically. It's just an odd choice. Just thought I'd point it out. Alright, more things to point out. 1, I like that Ren at least came back and saved them. He had to make that choice and he did it. 2, we're not losing Sean's sword because it's right there. 3, I like that Ren this time used his semblance to actually hide. Makes sense. You could say they go back and get his shield grenade, but look at the force they'd be competing with. It doesn't feel like it'd be worth it. I guess we don't know. Yeah, unless I'm forgetting if he has it later. I guess I'll look out for it on this watch through. But yeah, this all made relative sense, although I don't know how they fight off this squad coming at them after because we cut away. But I like at least Ren made the right choice, and I actually like that Oscar is taken here. I saw a lot of people saying that logically you think he would escape and then the team would be on the lookout moving forward and have to deal with the Hound again, and, you know, make it an element that way where, oh, they nearly got him once, it's not going to get him again, we gotta look out for it. But I like this way that no, they actually screwed up, or well, they failed at least, and it does get him, and we can move things forward, so yeah. And again, I like that we're moving the plots forward, they're sort of doing things, like, how do I explain it? The other crew has done their infiltration mission and got out and they're successful. This crew has tried their mission and took this loss. So we have things in motion. I like it. So we're not just hanging around, like, you know, with the Hound, almost got him once, so won't get him again, and we gotta sit 4 episodes and wait. We're 4 episodes in, things are happening. You know, we're not teasing things and pulling back on them. So yeah, I'm positive about that aspect of it. The only negative I'll give is that the whale looks like I animated it in this scene. It looks like he got the rotation, what do you call it? The rotation point near its tail and he's bouncing it up and down. The animation looks bad in this scene. Sorry. It feels like one of those things missed with just an unfortunate, they didn't have time or whatever. And it's weird that the whale is here and unobscured like this. It's just it's a weird thing. I get like the point of them seeing it fly off towards it. We sort of need that, but yeah, this whole bit looks weird. Oh well. Alright, I can't be the only person that went, hey, Whitley! Love it. Glad he's back on screen, glad we're doing things. Interesting choice that they came here. I guess you put it down to like they were somehow near here, who knows. But hey, Whitley, cool. And also good frame. More POV shots, look at this, more POVs. I'm okay with the POVs, I think they're interesting, so yeah. Again, it will always be a weird choice that they've come here, but I'm glad they have. So, yeah, we'll take the win on that. All right, so I've been really complimentary this episode, but I gotta say it. First off, Whitley's probably gonna sell them out, which is fine. At least fits his character right now. 2, Weiss's delivery in this line is bad. What am I supposed to do? You can tell him to help or tell him not to worry about it. That'll be fine. Go to your room. Like, it's delivered wrong, it's too slow, it doesn't feel earned. He hasn't been shitty to them at all. He's actually been pretty accommodating, to be honest. He actually went, ugh, fine. Even if he's gonna sell them out later. He's actually been alright. Her being the go to your room big sister thing is just, don't like it, actually. I really don't like this bit. This was not for me. I don't think it's earned, I don't think it's delivered well, I don't think it's shot well. And also the fact it's removing Whitley out of things. Everything about this I actually don't like. I think this was a bad spot, unfortunately. So I admit, I didn't catch this the first time. The other side, Blake's side of the Bumblebee moment. But I'm glad it's here, the fact they're both thinking about each other. Like I said, I don't push one ship over another, I just take what the show gives me. But if they are going to explore it, which I hope they do, because it's better they explore something than just leave us with nothing. Okay, so Blake's doing her side of it. And yeah, RWBY will reveal that she's tried to call and she hasn't picked up. I don't know if that's supposed to be because communications are down or they're just busy. Either way. Or they're too far outside the city, I guess. That can happen. I'm willing to be lenient on that. I don't think she's ignoring calls. But yeah, I do like that we got Blake seeing it here. And, or Blake's delivery here. And I think it's delivered well. I think it sounds good. Yeah, moving on. So yeah, I'll jump on and correct myself from what I just said, is that yeah, they clearly are outside of range. No one's ignoring calls. I forgot that this scene came up next and John said what he said, because they're clearly trying. So that, all good. Again, I think Blake's delivery was really good last scene, and that'll help. And yeah, they're outside of help range. That's good too. It all adds up. It's all fine with me. Anyway, not much to say. Moving on. Although, yeah, are we supposed to believe they just killed all of those Grimm off screen and we didn't get to see it? Like, there was a ton of them, and I'm not saying they couldn't do it, but now everything's just clear. Feels like one of those weird things where they just went, okay, the scene's done, so we'll just remove all that, and we'll go back to the bikes that's crashed and all those things, and all those threats are just gone. We didn't even, like, cut in on Yang punching one and disappearing, it being like a last one or something like that. You know, that feels weird. It does feel weird. It feels disconnected, like the scene we just saw didn't matter. Like, that didn't happen, and now we're just cutting to this. You could have done it cleaner. Just saying. Okay, so positives and negatives. Positives, I like that we're remembering they have this. I like that we have reminders about the cold and auras again for people that think they can totally drop that. So at least we're remembering it. Also, but I don't know why their auras are so low. I mean, yeah, they took some hits off the cliff, and Ren had to use his semblance, and he took some hits, but Jean's and Yang's auras seem weirdly low. But whatever, it's not a huge deal. And yes, I do see that Yang's they're all sort of slowly dropping in the cold, although their recovery should be better than that at this point. But whatever. Although I will say, I'm liking some of the animation on their faces here. Some of the close-ups look good. Their eyes look really nice. Yang's eyes in the close-up coming up look good. Just one of those little things that you notice. In fact, I'll take a cap of it just to show what I mean. Just good animation. I don't know. They look good here. It's a nothing point for plot, but these shots with Ren walking towards the setting sun and all of them walking towards the setting sun looks good. Again, good job animation. Good choice. it's just a cool shot, so can't complain with that. We'll get into Ren stuff in a sec, but yeah, just visuals, you know, good job. I don't know where these pillars of rock come from, but they look cool enough, so it's fine. Alright, I'm probably going to take multiple caps and multiple screen caps and talk about it as we go, because I'm going to have to totally cover this line by line, I think. I kind of get him being annoyed by having to save them, but he still had to save them, and this is where that childishness comes off, and the expression on Yang's face is the expression on all of our faces. Are you serious? Like, alright. I think this whole Ren thing, the way they're going about it, is going to cause some issues. People are going to be not happy with it, so yeah. Anyway, we'll go to the next bit. Yeah, I have been a big proponent and talker of Ren and Nora, but Ren here is so off base. But I like this reaction shot. That's cool in general, so that's good. I like the facial expressions and what they're doing with them this whole season. But wouldn't want to waste any more time. Come on, dude. Anyway, next. Maybe it's because Ren doesn't talk much, but him talking consecutively like this, like fluently, it actually feels really weird. His voice sounds off, but I think it's just because I'm not used to hearing it so much together. Him still being caught up on the we shouldn't be huntsmen thing, him disregarding the achievements they've had in the past, and yeah, it's just him. Okay, things haven't been going smoothly. You can be mad about that. Yeah, lots of this feels weird. Like the annoyed in general, just infuriated at the situation, okay. And he's mad at all their decisions, but he also hasn't chimed in on any of them. And I get it, like, he's trying to be supportive and be his usual quiet self, and he's unhappy with how things have gone. But, I don't know, something about his whole angle this episode feels off to me. But, I don't know. Okay, so it took till now to get to a line that actually annoyed me. He actually agrees with Ironwood that the maiden should be opening the vault and taking the city away. We're trapping them for her. I'm fine if that's actually his opinion, but it's funny because people were accusing him of siding with Ironwood last time because of the yes sir thing and all that. I had a much different interpretation of it. You'll see in my Ren and Nora video if you go there that it matches up, that he feels more complete and secure when doing things, when trying active things, no matter what they are, you know, when there's a mission to do. And that made a lot more sense with his character. The fact that he actually agreed the whole time with Ironwood and didn't bring it up, and that his actions and what he said in those moments is more fitting with who he actually, with how he actually thinks, is somewhat of a problem for me. So it doesn't feel like it fits. So this is where I start having issues where it feels like, I don't have an issue that he's changed, I don't have an issue that he thinks a certain way, I have an issue that he did it all so quietly that we didn't notice, and that the opinions I thought people were jumping on as being sort of wrong and misguided that I thought would be disproved later once these talks happened, is actually going that way. I'm not mad that, like, sort of, I was wrong or whatever. I'm mad, not mad at all, but I'm sort of annoyed that those sort of character transitions or character opinions were being made completely silently and off screen. It feels like a weird thing to bring out now. I would have been much happier and much more satisfied if there were other, more legitimate things he was bringing up now. But we'll see. Okay, let's talk about how lashing out works, because this isn't it, Chief. Him lashing out, you cheated your way into Beacon. That's sort of how that works. Okay, you just want to say something to hurt him, I guess, but not really relevant now. We've gone a long way since then. It feels weird if we're uncovering something he really felt the whole time, for years now. I think he's just supposed to be lashing out, which is okay. Ruby's just a kid. Okay, lashing out at someone who isn't there. I'm just an orphan. Like, come on, man. That's the line. Like, the Ruby is just a kid. I can take that. You cheated your way into Beacon? I can take that. I'm just an orphan. Can't take that. Come on, dude. Like, it's literally never come up as a negative. No one's ever said anything about it. Even if you feel insecure about it, and this is your way of bringing it up, it feels so forced and weird to put in there. You should have, if you're going to do him lashing out and being mad, he shouldn't be self-deprecating. He should be throwing it on someone else who isn't there. Say, you know, Weiss's family screwed this up for us. They own Atlas or something. Like, throw it on someone else. The I'm just an orphan felt so weird and so off. I just can't get behind it. Maybe it looked good on the page, but it doesn't sound good coming out of his mouth, but whatever. And yeah, the fact he looks resentful right after saying it, that does feel like lashing out, just saying things to try and hurt people in the moment and immediately regretting them. So that's something, at least. It's more human. It's probably more human than people will give it credit for. They'll probably jump on the whole thing and, you know, take the line out of context without looking at the reactions afterwards. But anyway. Alright, so I'm not a huge fan of the delivery, but I do like the line from Yang. Is your goal just to push everyone away? Good job. Pretty good line, and I like the not letting things go, like actually bringing things up to him to make him think. If we're gonna get Ren like this, at least you should capitalize on it and try and get some more plot out of it. So hopefully these words ring true, which they seem like they might. And hopefully this is just lashing out and being angry, and we get to something more real, something more along the lines of actual character development soon. Maybe this was all just the surface level stuff and we haven't got to the real thing yet. That's my hope, but we'll see. Alright, now my compliments can start again, because I love this bit. I love Salem being in the dark. I love her casual pose. I love her playing with magic in her hands. I love the, oh my long lost Ozma. I love Oz trying to reassure him, even though it's clearly false. The setting looks a bit weird, like looks like she's standing in concept art, like they're not finished, but that's alright. I'm quite a fan of Salem in this scene. I love the energy of the whole thing. Salem is so fun here. So yeah, I don't have anything more to say here. I just wanted to show this frame. I guess aside from the fact that I love that she didn't, like, you know, walk down a giant staircase on a pedestal. No, she's standing off to the side, brooding in the darkness. Hell yeah. Salem's looking good this episode, and not just, like, you know, physically, just like the way they're presenting her. It's good stuff. I'm well into it. So yeah, good stuff. 2 points, I will say. At least we've named the Hound. That's cool. But its sitting is so weird. It's so elongated. It's interesting that it's sort of transformed back as well. So it clearly evolves to what it needs on the fly and then reverts back to what it should be. I do like that she is immediately understanding of the fact that he's in a host body. And slight mocking with, oh, so small, but, like, you know, it's not silly. It makes sense. The hook things hanging from the ceiling, they're interesting. I didn't notice those before until I paused, but yeah, the hound's sitting position is so silly. It reminds me of like in comedies where you get a horse to sit and they just look wrong. It's so elongated. Makes me, again, think there's a person in there somehow, because it just, the shape is just weird on that thing. It might be because it's so, like, emaciated, like its stomach and everything is so thin. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but it's wrong. But I do like Oscar dangling and trying to sort of work his way out. And I do like that it's very good puppy-ish when it's sitting there. But cool. Again, I'm just a fan of the scene overall, so I'm not going to say too many bad things about it. It's just this frame made me chuckle for the wrong reasons, because that hound looks silly sitting like that. But we can move past it, because it's still threatening. Expect me to say a lot. There's going to be a lot of screen caps and me talking on this scene, because yeah, it's been how many years since we saw each other face to face like this, and nothing to say. Like, thank you for addressing it, thank you for bringing it up, thank you for playing this kind of fun. I'm enjoying everything about this so much. Yeah, just good job, all of this. I love that Salem is being kind of playful, and Salem is teasing, and Salem is showing personality and not just being evil. Yeah, this is promising. If you saw my talk about Salem and Oscar before, whether or not it goes down that route or not, I just love this approach. At least she's showing that personality and flair that we all love to see. So yeah, thumbs up. It is weird that Oscar tried to, like, feign being Ozma or something there. It's also, I do like that she called him Ozma, by the way. I'll throw that in as well. She didn't just call him Osman. My long lost Ozma. Anyway, yeah, it's odd that he tried to feign sort of the Oz voice, but I'll give him points for trying. I don't know what he was trying, but I'll give him points for trying anyway. By which I mean it was a good bit of voice work. You can pick up on it, so that's cool. Hey look, Salem being actually threatening. Cool. I've realized the way to do it, or the way that they can do it, is playing with her eyes a lot. Usually you think red eyes are just evil, right? But I noticed in the earlier seasons, like in Volume 4, when she's talking, the red parts of her eyes are much bigger. And when they're much bigger, rather than you think, oh, more red eyes, more evil, no, they sort of get a, they get a softer quality to them. and when the red sort of fills the space, it almost looks like more of like a normal eye color. But here, see that they've shrunk the iris and it's more coated in the black, and it makes them look a lot more evil and piercing. And I love that she has an understanding of how Ozma's reincarnation works, as she should, you know. You're not him yet, not fully. Totally understanding of that, totally knows how all that works, is ahead of the curve. Good stuff. And yeah, her examining his face like this and being real threatening. It's good stuff. Like I said, I'm not opposed to her being threatening and mean to start. If you saw that Ozma talk, I expected that she wouldn't be giving into any of those other angles of her character yet, and this is a good way to do it. And she recognizes him as a person. That's the other thing I was going to say. She recognizes Oscar as a person, and I actually really like that quality. Whether or not she's mean about it, or she's going to hurt him in a minute, or whatever, it's I like that. For some reason, that detail still stands out. She doesn't just address him as like the Ozma that isn't there yet. It's like, no boy, like, you know, she recognizes Oscar as a person, and for some reason that's winning major points with me. Yeah, following up on that, she wants to at least maybe exploit that he isn't Oz yet. Maybe we can have a better working relationship. And you might say it's leaning into the things I talked about in my Salem video. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It feels more manipulative than that right now, like she's not being genuine about it. But I love that she's looking at those angles, thinking about those things, using the fact that he is a person still, like he is still Oscar, to try and get angles on him. It's great. Salem is so good in this episode. Moving on. And I'm totally fine that she knows his name. I don't care where she learned it. It's cool. It's fine. Yeah, whoever has been in charge of animating Salem and writing Salem is just knocking it out of the park. I love her soft looks that turn slowly into like critical thinking looks and plotting looks, like exactly this frame here. She looked great 1 second before this, and now she's slipped into like a devious look. If I know my Ozma, she still has that personal connection. They haven't left it hanging. You know, it's still someone who's been in a relationship with that person for a long time, who clearly had feelings for him, who knows him inside and out. Just great. I'm really happy with it. Oh yeah, and the beacon relic. I thought that would be her question, by the way. It's just, where's the beacon relic? Because it's something she needs to know and couldn't figure out on her own. And trying to get that info out of Oz also makes sense. Or Oscar as well. It's something she needs for her ultimate plans that she doesn't have yet. So yeah, all of this makes sense. Okay, more touches to Salem. I can't stop lumping praise on it. When she asks about the beacon relic, he says, that's not something I know about. And she says, yeah, he would keep that one guarded because she knows him, knows how he acts, and actually believes Oscar about it. Like, yep, that makes sense, you don't know. I'm not even gonna like keep pressing you for it right now. She will for other things in a second, but yeah, she just believes it straight up, and she knows the man who Ozpin is, and it makes sense. And she looks annoyed about it, but she's not the unreasonable bad guy who's like, someone's like, I don't know that, and he's like, nah, I don't believe you, I'll just like torture you till you tell me. Like, no, she's like, yep, makes sense. He wouldn't tell you that one. Like, if he could hold out on it. These other things that, yeah, she's gonna press him for it in a minute, but good touch. Thank you for not being the cliche bad guy. I really appreciate it. Yeah, just yes. Everything Salem is yes. Okay, and hell yeah. So, like I said, if she only ever tortures Oscar, I'll be annoyed. But her doing it right now makes sense. And there's a couple things I like here. Number one, she picked up that Oscar was probably telling the truth the first time. The lamp is all out of questions. He delivered it like a bad lie. The lamp is all out of questions. He was thinking on the fly. She picked up on that. She knows that he's probably lying. And even if he's not, he would know the password anyway. She can wait 100 years, and what does she care? So, and she knows that they've used it, so there's a good chance he knows this answer anyway. So she's being smart, she didn't let him get away with that one. And the torture method. Don't know what she's doing, but it looks painful and like it sucks, but I like that she... Okay, here's another thing I wanted to bring up. So, this is related, I'm just trying to backtrack so I make myself clear. When she attacked Hazel, she used all the Grimm arms and everything. Makes sense, she's like, got control of Grimm stuff. But she's still supposed to have magic, like proper magic. this looks like magic. This looks like weird, crazy, out of this world stuff we don't know about. Don't know exactly what it's doing, but we can gather that it really sucks for Oscar. And I like that she's using magic. She shouldn't just be a threat that just uses Grimm stuff. The whole thing is, yes, she has control of the Grimm. Yes, she has Grimm powers and is evil and has all these things from the lake. She also is the only person surviving with a full level of magic, given what Oz has said about himself. So she should be using that to fight, and using that in general, not just Grimm-related things. So this is that, and this is great. I love it. It's also all the techno colors and stuff is cool. And I'm sure so many people are so upset by their little boy Oz getting tortured like this. So yeah, this is all good. Pushing on the audience's feelings, showing some things that really the way Salem should be, remembering all those things, and yeah, she's totally going to pick up on these lies. So all this works for me. I'm very positive about it. Okay, so I didn't miss that Oscar's eyes changed color, but I think it's just meant to be the reflection. So they went from like a purpley green to back to his yellow. But I think this is meant to be the flashes. But also, this is just a great screen cap. Look at her being evil. Hell yeah. Yeah, Mama Salem looking amazing this episode in all the ways. Not just her expressions and her movements and what she says, but she's looking evil too. This is all good. Just chucking a little extra praise on while I'm watching through. Hell yeah. Also, I especially love that it looked effortless. She wasn't trying. She's just like, yep, bam, torture beam. Easy. Now let's see how you are after that. Once again, her expression is fantastic, and I love her lines. Again, she knows Oz better than anyone, and lies come out of you so easy. Like-minded souls indeed. Calling out Oz on all of his BS and the fact that he lies a lot. And yeah, she can pick up when Oscar lies, and she's amused by it, and the more she caresses his face, the more I will like it. Everything about her, from being creepy to being serious, just Salem is such a win this episode. It elevates this episode to my favorite so far, just for Salem scenes. Even though I was down on some of the other scenes. Just, this is great. Oh, look at her. She's actually, like, excited. I'll have the relic. She's finally got what she wants. She's finally getting close. She looks, again, like a mom who's finally got to something she was working towards. And it's been eons, not just, like, a few weeks or whatever, like for the rest of us. Oh, I just love Salem's episode. And yeah, I don't mind which one of you tells me. That's great, too. And, yeah, she's happy with herself. It's such a great thing to see Salem happy with herself. She's achieving things and she's proud of herself. That's great. Again, it slightly detracts from the ultimate evil thing, and that's the best thing ever, because her being that is just so boring. I really just love Salem. Yeah, she's the best thing about this show right now. This video is gonna be so long, but I don't really mind. Alright, let's talk about this. I'm slightly disappointed Hazel is here, not because it makes the episode worse, because it doesn't. I had a whole video I was gonna make about Hazel. This might hurt it a little, maybe not. I'll have to think it through, but I don't know. Maybe I'll make it anyway. It might be something they talk about next time we see whatever's going on here. But, yeah, we'll see. But her amused is nice. And I like Oscar's resolve. At least he's trying, despite the torture beam. And, yeah. Anyway, just a little point for myself. We'll see if I make the Hazel video. Maybe. I think I still will. Maybe. It'll have to come this week if it's coming at all, because it's about to probably be disproven horribly otherwise. But for now, it still might work. Anyway, moving on. And yeah, it's kind of a shame we have to stick with Hazel's characterization. Oh, it's going to be for his sister. But again, this might add to the thing I'm going to say about Hazel, so we'll see. I don't think this disproves what I was going to say, so we'll see about that video. Expect it this week, if at all. I guess we'll move on. Mama Salem proud of her puppy. It's an experiment. I still think there's a person in there, be it Summer or Torchwick or whatever. But yeah, because it's an experiment, you know, putting two things together. Let's see if this works, and it did. And I do like that Cinder doesn't know what it is, so it's definitely her little pet project. So yeah, minor point. Salem still sounds like such a mom. Did you need something, Cinder? Like, just, oh, she's so much Cinder's mom, and it's so fun. Just my favorite. So please tell me I wasn't the only one that went in this exact scene. I want to go after the Winter Maiden powers. I think, did you hear that, my pet? She thinks. I was just being like, is Salem gonna say, don't think, obey? like, because that's it. She's literally getting that flipped on her, and it's fun. So yeah, just had to bring it up. It was like right there. I'm glad they didn't say it outright, because yeah, but it's totally that. So yeah, fun. So it's funny. So many people criticize Salem for just sitting around doing nothing, and Cinder brings it up. If you didn't know any better, you'd say that these are written week to week, but of course that's impossible. Like with the animation and stuff. Like there's no this was written ages ago, and it's like, oh, we are just sitting around doing nothing. Let me do something. And she's like, I'll tell you when and where you do things. So you can see it two ways. You can see it as Salem's still stalling and they don't have a plan, and the writers don't know what they're doing. Or you can choose to see it the way I'm choosing to see it, is that this is actually reassuring, and they do have a plan. Salem does have something, and the fact others are commenting that she's just sitting around because it feels like a valid complaint, but there is something we all don't know. So yeah, we'll see, but we'll say I'm slightly optimistic about it. Also, I do like to think I've shown great patience, or whatever she said. She's shown a lot of patience over all of her years walking around, which is eons, and she's just like, again, it's very mum-like. I have a lot of patience, but I don't like repeating myself, She's 2 seconds away from say that again, and I'll turn this whale around and go home. Such a mum, and I like it. And yeah, putting Cinder in her place is always fun. And saying, you will remain here, is that clear? And she's about to completely screw this up again. About to immediately disobey. But yeah, this'll be fun. I don't know how Cinder comes back from this. Not just screwing up the first time, but she's actually done enough to get back in the good graces, and she's going to screw it up immediately again. I don't know what to say, Cinder. Your backstory, alright, if you want to see my Cinder backstory, linked in the iCard and the end card for my versions of it, it's the Cinder Kills What's video. I put a lot of work into that, trying to make it cover everything of why she is how she is, but even I can't be even I didn't have an answer for why she's this stupid. So I hope there's something in that covers it, why she's this ambitious, but we'll see. Also, yeah, I did pick up on the repeated "without you, I am nothing" line. I don't know if that's something she likes to hear, or something Cinder puts up as things she thinks she likes to hear. I don't know where that's come from, but the fact they repeated it twice means it's important. So either she really doesn't think that, or it's gonna come up elsewhere. God, this is a long video. Anyway, I can't screen cap all of it, but sassy Neo, I love you so much. Oh, the second best thing about this show. And Cinder lying to herself, we'll be back before anyone realizes. Bull crap. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna get so screwed. But for some reason Neo's going along with it. I think she'd be happy to get out of this place, so whatever. So yeah, let's keep going. But everything Neo in this scene is great. Also, there's her umbrella. It's weird it disappeared, and I saw everyone commenting, now going back and commenting on my Salem's lamp is fake thing. Yeah, she's disguised her umbrella as it. I don't think she needs to have a physical base for her illusions anyway. I don't think it's totally impossible still. But yeah, I'm actually glad it isn't as simple as her umbrella, because it was weirdly gone. But she's got it back, so that's all good. Again, I don't think it disproves that theory. You can check that video out if you want then. I guess that'll be the two videos linked at the end. It'll be Cinder Kills What's and the lamp is fake. If you're interested in seeing it, that's more of a fun one. But yeah, I'm just putting this in here because I can't not. Mary Poppins Neo is just the best. She didn't have to do that, but she did, and we're all better for it. So yeah. Also, good work with the shadows. They're looking cool and interesting. Someone put in some extra shifts there. It's appreciated. But yeah, I don't know. Hey, check that out on the top right. I haven't seen that before. That's that spiky thing that was you could see it from the other screenshot people were sharing around from before the volume. That 5-6 pointed spiky up thing. Don't know what that is still, but anyway. Cool. Yeah, just Neo is the best. Just the best. Yep, literally nothing else to say. I get that, yeah, Cinder saying they wouldn't give up their misguided attempts to save the world. Whatever. Yeah, she sort of knows them. No, I just wanted to get this frame of Neo. Just between the Salem stuff and this Neo portion, I couldn't not adore this episode. The character work is so great. And Cinder, while some people might be annoyed at her, at least she's consistent. I don't hate her like a lot of people hate her. Yeah, I think she's being stupid here, but at least she's been stupid before and it fits what she's doing. I don't think she's a bad character because of it, so yeah, this episode's great, and yeah, it's about to get more interesting. So question, she got the surprise on both Neo and Cinder. Was she making herself invisible to them this whole time? And she's been working on her semblance. She can help. I'm curious to see, Emerald. Let's see what you can do now. Is it just roll people, or can you do something crazy, or are you lying? Either way, let's see. There's been so many like theory videos and people talking about, Neo and Emerald, how they're like, one's mental illusions, one's physical illusions. Are they going to become friends or hate each other or whatever else? Are they going to fight? Getting them together, at least. I don't personally have any theories about them, really. Like, nothing that no one else has already said. But, I'm curious to see. I'm glad she's coming along. And, it leans into that Mercury might be more on Salem's side moving forward. It'll be this trio, whether they have infighting or not, and Mercury's not coming, sort of thing. Which, for everyone who shipped, like, Mercury and Emerald, which I could see, they sort of come as a pair, or whether it's shipping or not, whether it's just you like them together as characters, I think they might be moving apart. But I'm fine with that as long as they're getting something to do. I'm really happy they're putting Emerald here because I didn't like the idea that they showed up to stand around and do nothing. But all Hazel, Mercury, and Emerald. Hazel being in the interrogator, I threw a million miles off. I called that one. I didn't call it out anywhere in the video. But yeah, if you're going to bring Oz to the whale, who's going to want to beat him up more than Hazel? So yeah. And then there's M. But at least she's doing something apparently, so that's good. Hey, big boy Jean. Doing good speeches, at least if he's going to be a leader, he should at least get the good speeches and talking about, he had people to see he was bigger than that choice to sneak in and how alone you'll feel if you block everyone out. And he's making Ren think about it. He won't come around right now, but you know what? Doing work, so there you go, Jean. I see you. Good job. Check it out, guys. We're getting more and more wins. Yang's delivery this whole season has felt off. I don't know what's going on, if Barbara just had odd direction or something, but I don't know. Everything she says sounds slightly weird, but I'm not going to hold that totally against her because we have Yang stepping up and being like, hey, for what it's worth, I'm sorry I said that to you. Yang and John are talking, guys. They're like friends and know each other. It's good. This is more of that splitting being beneficial. And Jean being reflective all the way back of, I used to push people away too. Like, we're going back to season 1 here, guys, again, which wins points with me, making this series feel like it's got continuity. Things happen. It might be many, many seasons later. There are probably people watching who don't even remember, but yeah. Good job. Although Ren going to sit out in the snow is a very moody teenager, but given the circumstances, we'll let it go because he's being a very moody teenager. Anyway. Also, yeah, she found a part to fix the bike. Good to get back to the city, but I'm curious to see what they're going to look like 3 stacked up on that bike. I think it's going to look very silly. Whatever. But also, more callbacks, Yang fixing things, Yang working on a bike. She knows how to do that. Maybe not a hover bike, but in general, she knows her way around some mechanic-y stuff, or she should. So, showing outside influences on a character, showing things characters can do that aren't always just their main character trait that we've all implied before. Yay! And there's your other side of that Bumblebee ship. We really should be moving past the point where the fanbase has to ask if they're just teasing or not, or if they're just gonna do it. But I'm taking this as they're just gonna do it because, please God, just have them commit to something, yes or no. But this seems like a yeah. And you could say it's weird. Actually, you think she would be thinking about RWBY. But if she is infatuated or Blake is on her mind that much, and she is present in her thoughts like that, then this better not just be teasing and they better just commit to something because they're building towards it. I like it. We're working towards what that reunion could be for a lot of characters, be it Nora and Ren and Blake and Yang. So yeah, let's just do this. Let's just commit. And if we do, we can start getting into actual relationship stuff and add some dimensions to these characters and make them feel like real people. So yeah. But I like that she does, do you think, less meek because it seemed very much like Yang, as usual, made a headstrong decision on what she thought was best, and now she's thinking about others. And I would never be against her having her interactions with RWBY and being more like sisters and thinking about that. But if she's thinking about Blake and thinking about these other things, then that's fine too, as long as she's doing something. So yeah, whether it takes a little bit for these decisions to sink in or not, Yeah, although the fact that no one seems to pick up on what she said, or Jean doesn't seem to pick up on what she said, but oh well, moving on. Just gonna throw this in here real quick. You're telling me that I put like 20 minutes of explanation and time into the title sequence about what Ren catching the snowflake means, and you're just gonna do it here? I'm hoping it means more than that. Come on. But yeah, nothing huge. And actually, like, it's a weird thing to compliment. I like the military thinking of Jean of like, I need to get some sleep, but I can't think about Oscar. No, you take your rest, and I'll look out for this, says Yang, and then Jean puts himself to bed. The sleeping because I need to recharge despite everything. Very military, and yeah, good work, Jean. So yeah, just feels right. Alright, and we end on this cracking, and if you ask me, here we go with the Grimm winner. This is the boss fight. This is what that's gonna be. We had allusions to the ground cracking and stuff in the intro and that, and I've said for a long time that the Grimm contest winner is not going to be everywhere. What they're going to do is, because the script was written so long ago before they knew what that Grimm was gonna be, in the script, you literally put in insert Grimm winner here, boss fight. And then once you get to it, you animate what it's going to be. So see it's cracking through the ground, it's probably going to be the big worm style version of it smashing through the ground. Maybe it'll split into all the scorpion looking things. And flood the house or whatever and reform into its versions and all that kind of stuff. But if it was the hag, it would have wandered in out of the snow, about to throw bombs at the house. If it was whatever else, like, yeah, this is a tease for something coming to get them. That's probably what it's going to be. It's the insert boss fight here. And they just put a tease at the end of this episode, and we'll come back to it in maybe 2 episodes and they'll have to fight it. Yeah, so that's my guess. That's a prediction. Anyway, so that's the episode end. I'll be back in just a second, which won't be anything for you, while I think about this episode. Okay, I'm back. I've just taken a minute or so. I will say, I won't put them all in, but you should check out the art at the end of this episode especially. It's exceptionally good. This whale looks so much better. This scene looks so much better than it did in the episode, but that can't be helped. Well, maybe it can, but what's done is done. Okay, so I was going to come back and say the writing in this episode is exceptional. It's not exceptional. It's not brilliant or masterful, but it's really enjoyable. I'd be hard pressed to say if you like RWBY and you followed it through to season 8 and you don't like this episode, I'd be hard pressed to understand why. The character work is really good. It's really good. Some of the action's a bit ropey. Some of the little technical bits, some of the little details are a bit hard to sometimes understand. Well, not understand, but hard to think why they did it. You know, if you're plotting it out yourself, you might do some things slightly differently. But overall, I can't deny that this is a very fun episode. That I really enjoyed the character work. Ren's felt a little bit off, but Yang's was interesting. Jean's was pretty good. Salem's was incredible. Cinder's was pretty good. Neo's was great. The fact Emerald's getting back in on things is great. I really expected to see Tyrion lurking in the shadows and like watching them leave, but who knows. But yeah, I just it was so fun. Salem is so fun, and I love that whoever, I don't know if it was just it was Eddie who wrote this episode, I don't know if it was just him or who had input on it, but they're not dropping some of the better parts of Salem's personality, and that will always get praised from me because it's one of my favorite things in this show. Neo's expression work and the way she does things is just as good as ever. Cinder's being consistent. Yang is growing. Jean is looking more promising. When Jean isn't being made by the script to look like an idiot, he actually feels like a really good character when he's being consistent. And this feels like one of those episodes where he was being consistent. Like he's being who he should be almost. He's being who they tell us he is verbally, but we don't see it as much. So that's great. I like the plot. I like that Oscar is captured. That's done. Like, yeah, not teasing it, not taking it back. No, he's captured. The way Salem and Oscar interact is fantastic to start out. Hazel's being put to some use, so that's good. And this is a very promising episode. This is the best episode yet. The last episode was definitely the best episode so far, and this one tops it. And it doesn't top it for action, and it doesn't top it for comedy. It doesn't top it for anything in particular outside of the character work. I just love how our characters are acting, so my praise will be lumped on this episode. Maybe I won't like it so much on a third or fourth row, I don't know, but I like, for now, for my initial response, having watched it through twice, I really enjoyed it. So I hope you all did too. With that being said, this is the end of this video. YouTube things, like, share, comment, subscribe, all those things. Until next time, I really hope you enjoyed this episode, because I did. My name is Rigger, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope I did alright.